I'm a drag artist, a non-binary, indigenous, queer drag artist who works on Coast Salish territory. And I'm a member of the Darlings, which is a four-person non-binary drag troupe. Through design, photography, video, and performance art, and poetry, every art form I love is just wrapped into one perfectly wrapped gift called the Darlings.
People are watching, they're waiting for you, hoping to see the new hero. It's making you nervous, but what can you do? Isn't it worth everything you've been through? You're a winner, so winner, take all.
The reason I started doing drag was a response to ballet. I was a ballet dancer for most of my life. They would stand us in a line and choose their dancers and choose the partnerships and make you be a man or a woman. And I found myself always wanting to do more of the woman roles, but I wasn't allowed to because of what I was assigned at birth. Then my friend just put me in drag and set me out on stage one night, and ever since I felt like it's really just impacted the way I move through the world. And I ended up leaving dance to pursue drag more full time. This is the one. Has a tasteful neckline. Chris will be so disappointed that I'm getting another black dress today. It even moves nice. I like the windows.
They're cute,
You should
right?
keep them up forever.
I know.
That's CERB money going to good use.
Yeah,
When the pandemic started, first thing everyone does is they turn to art. The effects of being a queer person in isolation is you go and you turn on your TV and it's all cisgendered straight people. And it's really, really boring and sad to not see yourself in anything you watch. And that's why people go to drag shows, because they see people like themselves and they see this vibrancy that they don't see anywhere else. When we started the Darlings, it was partially in response to the representation that was happening in the drag scene already. All four of us are non-binary, and that's part of the reason why we came together initially, because we knew there were people like us that weren't seeing themselves represented in drag yet.
This year's Queer Arts Festival's theme is around wickedness, and we're just really ripping apart the ideas of what it is to be a non-binary person and really force-feeding it to our audience and making them understand what it is to be a non-binary body. Hi. It's been about 2.5 to 3 months since we've sat in a circle together. Physically, it's been too long. 3 of us within the Darlings are a joined bubble, so we're allowed to touch and play with touch. To put your hand on somebody just means so much. And Rose, unfortunately, isn't within our bubble, so a lot of our show is built around the inability for Rose to join in, and that they have to stay at a 6-foot distance.
I miss like being close to everybody, because that's a big part of like, I feel like what we do is showing like affection through touch on stage. We just kind of get into like a dance of like moving around each other. Honestly, when they like have snacks and I can't have any, that's the worst part.
No answer. Oh, they're calling me. The joys of this.
This one will be shot like a film, but set in a theater, because we have this really interesting experience of being able to use an empty theater and edit it together into a live seeming theater show. And I just think it's the best thing we've done.
A lot of the festival is like, I guess like the theme too with like wickedness and homonormativity is like, it's just however many years ago people were calling to like remove drag queens and like kinksters from the fag parades because they were like not palatable. And now that those things are becoming more mainstream, people are okay with it. Also, we're filming like next weekend.
I know. I realized. I thought it was next Tuesday, but it is next Thursday. Which is still really soon.
And then we go bam, and then walk out of it this way into something.
Sure.
Yeah. And then
And
it's
then
one,
stay on that side.
doom.
Okay.
Yeah, and then these hands gotta be gifty, like.
Okay, hand. We've done really chaotically fun numbers that are just for our pleasure. And then we've done numbers that we really want the audience to walk away and be like, what did we just witness? And continue talking about it.
We're dressing as pigs dressed as cops.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna soil ourselves.
We're gonna shit
And
ourselves.
shit.
We're breaking the rules by having them, but that's what visual artists do.
But these are RCMP bands. And they were given to us by an artist and activist and friend of ours. They were taken from a police officer.
Yeah, they
A
stole them.
homophobic, transphobic police officer. So they gave them to us to queer up, and now we shake
Wear
our
them.
queer little asses in them all over
Yeah.
the country.
With a nice blouse on. Like a milky guy. Drag is political in itself, just getting out there and presenting as what you want the world to see is political. Breath down. Da, 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 da. Danger.
Before the pandemic, we were doing drag full time. And to be honest, I'd kind of just jumped off into committing to that. And we all quit our jobs, and PM quit their job too, and then this happened 3 months later. I cried, and then I called PM. I was just like, Desi, we have to do something. Like, we can't just freak out. Like, literally everything's canceled. We have to do something. We have to do a show. And they were like, oh, Jesus. And called Maiden China and Rose. I was like, listen, I really think we should do this show in 2 weeks, and I think we should use our webcams. And that was like my first mistake with those shows.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I can hear you, but I can't hear my music.
Luckily, it worked out really well. The support was huge from our first broadcast, but unfortunately, it got censored. And somebody reported it on Facebook, and it got taken down immediately. They deemed it as inappropriate or explicit content. That was what the descriptor was. And then so we disputed it. Facebook put the video back up, but by that time, we had lost a huge chunk of our audience. Trying to figure out how to get it onto Vimeo right after, and then how to redirect all of our audience. So it kind of became this whole experience that ended up being kind of memorable and exciting and very specific to what we were going through. We got our second show ready, we did like a whole new media platform, we did a press release, and then that show got taken down too. And that was like a really good glimpse into the reality of what it's like to navigate the internet as a queer person. Oh, there it is. It's full fantasy. I literally, like, so this is a video that the CBC posted of myself from last Pride, and I'm gonna read through some of the comments on it because while I don't think there's any value in what they're saying, I do think it's important for people to see that this is still very much a real thing. Why does this fucking freak think it's okay to be on television? There's some cute ones in here from my friends too, but oof. Surprised this person hasn't killed themselves yet. Ever thought about killing yourself? Here's a solution. You could just die. Yeah, just thought of that. Fuck. It's unfortunate, but the only spaces that provide us that safeness is queer spaces. But that doesn't really happen anywhere else. So that's been the hardest part about losing these spaces, is because it's all we had. There was people that were literally queer and alone for 3 months. And we need this. We need these spaces. We need parties. We need to dance together. Because it's still an act of rebellion, even though it shouldn't be. Same with drag. overarching message is that we are bringing our bodies to this show. This is about our skin, this is about us touching each other, this is about love between each other, this is about sex, it's about, you know, pain, it's about love, it's about the physical makeup of our bodies. People think it's like brave and an act of rebellion, you know, but it's who we are. Bam. Done.